your soul. I come more armed than Jax, Kintara or Goro. Like Wolverine smoke on Jade, then Baraka Striker. Kano fight Sonya Blade, cause man he just don't like her. Like a hungry squirrel, Johnny Cage is cracking nuts. Palau is taking head, Shao Kahn fights Snoop Saibot. My skills with Raiden gonna leave you faded, cause I'm a master blocker. I strike you down, you're flipped around, and then you get the shocker. Brutality, fatality, lethality is my salary. My wins are a formality, my skills bring you mortality. The combat is reality, your fate is a finality. I never use fatalities, that's just not my mentality.
King, Liu Kang, Raiden, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya, Jax, Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, Kitana, Kung Lao. Fight! Flawless victory.
You get so physical, take it so literal, man, I'm just having fun. Think I'm scared, call me nerd, next time.
Round 1.
It's getting hot in here, cause my console heat sinks so cheap. My moves pump mad beer. I thought I heard someone say toasty. Now look at the smackdown, put on the whack clown. No, you ain't talking trash now. Sub-Zero, ice baby. Now you wish you never played me. So the next time you try to test mine, notify your next of kin. Cause when it comes to combat, all I do is
King, Liu Kang, Raiden, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya, Jade, Kitana, Baraka, Strike, Fight!
Alright, I believe this brings us back. Okay, cool. Thanks. Brings us back to the show here. Welcome. We are waiting for Mr. TJ, who is the guest for tonight for the lounge. Sorry, we're a little bit scattered tonight, guys. We're down 3 people due to Comic-Con. But yeah, if you're watching from anywhere other than TwinGalaxiesLive.com, you're watching from the wrong location. You guys get to watch me check to see if our YouTube Live is streaming correctly. So Twin Galaxies Lounge. What? Google is? Oh, I guess isn't that YouTube? Google/YouTube has announced that they're going to purchase. Oh, that's interesting. Breaking news from Chris Fett. You know him as Doc Nemo from our League of Legends team, which plays here at 9 o'clock tonight to entertain you. In the meantime, we're waiting for TJ Cencula, who is a fight coordinator extraordinaire. He's got a really cool web series called Fight Like the Movies. I'm getting used to the fact that this is the only camera now. Hey Ravidian, how's it going? I know, right, Golden Goku? I really got the short end of the stick here. Got the fuzzy end of the lollipop, as it were. The versus Street Fighter's best game ever. It's a pretty good game. Pretty good game, buddy.
Street Fighter, huh?
We're just gonna hang out here, guys, waiting for TJ Cencula. Super awesome fella. I'm gonna review a cut of a show that we're gonna air tomorrow on IGN. Just pretend like you aren't hearing any of this and you'll be surprised. I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
That was rabies.
of a skin-tight outfit for fighting. Just kidding. All right, guys. So we are currently live. This is our brand new setup, and everyone in here who recognizes TJ will be very happy to see his return. They will be able to see you as soon as you sit down here. All the other cameras have been eliminated. Which
That's the only one?
Yes, this is the only one right now.
What about that one?
It doesn't work.
Whoa.
This is the only one. And it's super close up on you.
Alright.
So it's
That's good. My
Yeah.
face is well suited to close-ups.
well, actually, you know what? Let me zoom this out so we can fit more people in. It'll take me just a second because I'll have to. Yep, I'm gonna have to do that. Because you brought the lovely missus. Above. Yep, that's the one. All right, so if I can get you right here.
All the way. Wow. I come from the Mario world. I don't
Nintendos.
Me and my wife like the games from our brothers. Okay.
Oh, I've got the wrong one.
Not for me?
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna do a little pinchy business with your shirt here.
Shoot up.
And then I'm gonna give the missus, and then you can unmute. We're gonna adjust your camera here.
All right.
So you get the entire Cencula
The whole Cencula clan.
plan. Perfect.
What do you think, baby? Look at all these lights.
This up.
I don't know if you guys can see right now, but Jen's wearing some pretty awesome pants.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah, they're great. Oh my God, so beautiful.
Oh yeah, hey.
Gun! Gun show!
Ridiculous.
Okay, so now we've got everybody in frame.
All right.
Ken.
Dickerson?
I'm gonna do a, oh my God, it's beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeous. If I stand here, yep, this will be good. We're gonna look right in that camera and do a proper intro. Welcome everyone, it's Twin Galaxies Live. You're watching The Lounge and we have a special guest today. This is the entire Cencula clan. TJ Cencula has brought, well, introduce yourselves. I'm so sorry, I only know you as
The
your,
wife.
your killer instinct, your killer instinct persona.
I'm Natalie, and this is Tristan.
Aww. TJ is an amazing fight coordinator, fight choreographer. What is the proper term for what you do? Fighter, warrior.
You've described it. It's all of those things. It's different stunt coordinators have preferences on how they want to be credited. Some people want to be called stunt coordinator. Some people like being called fight coordinator or fight arranger or stunt performer. And sometimes this just depends on the project that you're working on and the capacity you're involved with it. So.
Gotcha.
I just like to make the violence,
Practical about it.
He's a violence maker.
but only the pretend kind. I find that violence is much more fun when it's impermanent and nobody's really getting hurt. So that's kind of my job, is to make sure that when you do those kinds of things for entertainment value, it stays that way and never gets serious or for realsies.
Awesome. I'm going to sit right here so that the eye line is correct, but we already have some great questions coming in. Kuragari's really happy.
Thanks,
to see you.
Kuragari. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Limited vision, do you ever see? No, he does not actually currently.
Yeah,
I don't think he slept in the past
3 days?
4 days.
4 days?
Actually.
I still haven't caught up to Neo over here, Neo's story.
No, he's got enough not sleep for a lifetime. Oh my God, it's a Poro. What's a Poro? Oh, is that one of the games that was being shown up on
Oh, maybe.
There we go.
So,
There we go.
we at the Cencula clan are big-time Nintendo fans.
Forever Play says, is this the premiere of a new permanent segment starring TJ? We wish. We wish. we now no longer have enough cameras to show off what TJ can do.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just kidding. It is interesting. This is my first time being back to the lounge. Is this where I'm supposed to look?
No, I'm sorry, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. See, if you look this way, we still get 3/4. It's lovely. So yeah, either way, it's fine. Yeah.
This is my first time back to the lounge since the last episode of Real Life Game Fights, and so the setup is a little bit different. I kind of miss the array, the Skype array. To be honest, I think that's cool.
Otherwise known as he misses seeing the entire 360 view of himself.
What? Yes.
It's TJ's bullet time. Yeah, it's a lot of changes here at the lounge. The programming keeps changing. You know, as you were, everyone at home gets a peek behind a kimono now. As you know, you were one of the very unfortunate casualties of like this idea that we're going to focus all the way down to just video game gameplay, right? And so, hence the lack of new cameras or cameras that would focus on the entire room. Now all you get is the player and the game, and that is the fight that we have these days. But also the people at home asking their questions. We're going to be able to show off a lot of your, we're going to be able to show off your new thing, which is Fight Like the Movie.
Yes.
Which is a very prolific series. I think you're up to like episode 20 bajillion.
Yeah, I just finished episode 24 before I got here. It should be uploaded later today. I'm pretty pumped about this one. I went way over the top, hence the not sleeping for 4 days. But
He nearly had 3 heart attacks.
Oh my god, not good.
He was just sitting there editing going,
I wish this was a joke. But there comes a point when the body desirably protests the abuse that you give it, because those are the signals that you need to maintain a healthy life. Your body starts to say, hey, we're shutting down, give us a little bit of sleep, let the brain reset itself. And I'm like, no, I'm not done yet. I'm gonna finish, I'm gonna power through this. But, you know, sometimes you can't carry on that for a punch out. Sorry. Start. Oh, thanks, man. All right, sorry, I got a little bit distracted.
He hasn't been here nearly as long as we have, and he already knows everything better.
I was trying to crank the mics because I was like, I can't hear her, she's kind of soft. I realized I never mic'd you up.
I'm in here not 15 minutes, and I already managed to break the Z directory.
The directory, that's your thing. Oh, wait, hold on. No. Chaos.
All right, we need a backup plan. Real Life Game Fight Season 2, starting now. Cha-cha. Oh. Oh, in the face. Okay, phew.
Opens with you guys beating up on a helpless child.
Oh, her beating up on us. She is going through a phase right now. At least we're hoping it's a phase. Where she,
I'm really hoping it's a phase. Daddy kind of finds it.
it is when you see something super little, adorable, and cute, like viciously attacking. At least at this point, when she doesn't do a whole lot of damage, it is kind of funny. I try not to encourage it because it's not a very healthy social behavior. But she is definitely her daddy's daughter, and she watches us fight all the time in a staged context.
And she's like, this is how real people
She's like, this is
operate.
life.
Oh yeah.
She's got this thing where she wants to go after the dogs now.
Ah! That's adorable. Oh. Wow.
And mommy.
She
And
now
mommy.
She now has Jedi tricks. Apparently. She
Yes.
can take out cameras with her.
That's cool.
Right?
These
I
are
knew
not
it.
the people you're looking for.
This is.
Do you want to? Is there a select button for this?
There is.
Oh my god.
Deal with this retarded conversation.
I want to say credit is select, but I don't know.
Oh.
Is it that you wanted to play 2 players?
Yeah.
Or move to control down?
I think I need duct tape for this damn thing here.
One of these.
Camera fell. Sith powers. Yep. Now, guys at home, why don't you share your favorite memories, your favorite moments from real life game fights? Because I had a bunch.
Crag the Barbarian. You know, I have to say, I'm proud that we were able to get through, I think, 15 episodes without breaking anything except for a mic clip.
That was pretty amazing. I'm gonna turn the volume down on this. Sorry. This is the cock knocker, call it.
Oh, yes, then I will
For
move.
good reason.
By all means.
All right, there we go. There we go.
All
You are
right.
free of the dangers of the cock knocker.
Oh,
All right, guys, it's happening. Jungle Stage 1. As soon as I figure out what buttons there are. I didn't even use the Konami code up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. I don't need it. I could pretty much close my eyes and still win this game.
Now?
You're playing. Just press those controllers over there.
Forever Play says, is this the Crag? I believe it is
Oh
the
my
Crag. TJ has to either break something or lose his mic to complete the day.
Yes.
Or his wig.
true.
The wigs fall off. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of the wigs lately with Fight Like the Movies.
Oh, Golden Goku. Yes. Jennifer Karras is in our most recent episode of Fight Like the Movies. It's going to be uploaded later tonight. So
Yeah.
check it out.
Jennifer Karras is always game. I messaged her. I had this crazy last minute idea for the most recent episode that I'll upload later tonight. This episode is unique from the others in that it doesn't focus on a specific movie. It focuses on a genre of movies under a similar banner. So it's basically the Marvel universe in cinema. So it includes the movies that are done by Marvel Studios as well as the ones from Fox and from Sony. So we have some X-Men, some Spider-Man, Wolverine, and that kind of stuff. And I had this silly idea that Jen Karras was totally game for. I don't want to spoil it too much, but definitely worth checking out. What did I do?
Flashing light.
This is part of the reason why at home I am a full-fledged Nintendo boy, because all you have to do is just like put it in and then within seconds you're operational. Where like I'm out of my depth. I'm looking at a screen with more icons than
Sorry, we'll do this. You see, the
For
icons
video.
is really the icons is really just a sign of us not.
Oh, hey, your cousins say hi to you.
Yeah, Limited Vision is my dad. That's his production label.
Everything's good. Look, I actually fixed this with a piece of tape.
Nice.
Tape.
That's how we do
What
it.
what can it not fix? So to answer your question about being a Nintendo fan, what games I primarily play, if time was not a factor and life can be dedicated to video game playing, I would destroy every Mario game in existence. I can't wait till there's enough time to really sit down and get into Mario 3D World for Wii U. And we have Donkey Kong Country Tropic Freeze sitting on the mantle, still in its cellophane package, because we just haven't had a chance to open it yet. But we really liked playing Donkey Kong Returns on the Wii U. We had a blast doing it together. The things that I didn't want to do, she did, so I'd jump on her back, and then the things that she didn't want to do, I did, so I jumped on her back. We're jumping on
That
each
was
other's
a lot
back.
of
We're
fun.
jumping each other all the time, basically, when we play
Wow.
video games.
As evidence. As evidence. She's so adorable.
Yeah, she loves herself some video games too. She somehow finds a way to access things on my smartphone that I don't even know how to do. Where all of a sudden she's playing some game and I just can't wait to see the bill from the App Store.
Which
Good job.
you're not responsible for purchases made by a minor.
I did just get a message from
Really?
Apple informing me that the recent purchases, if the recent purchases on my iPhone were made by a minor, that I may not be responsible for those charges.
Wow.
So,
That's a loophole.
yeah, well, they were made by a minor, so it's a good loophole.
But I mean, couldn't you suddenly you have like games on there that you do want to purchase, and you're like, yeah, it was my daughter. Yeah, so take the rap for me.
That could be.
TJ is going to be 70 in a wheelchair because of the broken hips is the same because he was still doing stunts and he finally have time for video games. That's Kuragari's prediction for your future.
That's not a bad prediction. If I make it to 70, I'd say that's pretty good, especially on the unsustainable path that I'm on right now with this brutal anti-sleep regimen, anti-sleep energy drink abuse regimen. But you know what I really am pumped for? I am so thrilled beyond words about Hyrule Warriors.
Oh wow.
I like Dynasty Warriors. I never really got into any of those games, but the idea of being this valiant warrior and going out and just destroying hordes of the enemy, I am all about that. That's like my dream. I dream that dream every night since I was 5. And now that I get to do it in Hyrule, oh my gosh. The one thing that could make that better is if I could be one of the characters. Because I like being Link. He is my favorite hero in video games, second only to myself. So if I can be me, like I can be me in Smash Brothers, that is going to be awesome. That's the only character that is epic enough to seduce me away from Little Mac or Link, and that's myself.
It's your own me. That's amazing.
As soon as he unlocked that, I think so. So yeah, that's like the big thing for Smash Brothers, right?
Yeah, being to me?
Yeah.
Totally. And they have 3 different play styles. You got like the Brawler, the, I guess, kind of a Samus-style gunner, and a sword fighter. So for me, it is all about the sword. I'm gonna make Link know that he's an amateur compared to the true master of the blade.
I'm a fan of the pronunciation there. It's a hard W in the word sword.
Sword.
I'm waiting for TJ to have some time so I can kick his butt at Mario 8 Online, says Crag the Barbarian.
Yes.
Crag the Barbarian
shots.
is superior to me in every way because he has managed to unlock all of the triple stars on 150cc, and I have barely managed to even unlock mirror mode. So he is far. You guys don't have Mario Kart here, do you?
We have several. We have 64, Mario 64, but we don't have the new one, no, because Jason Hall refuses to let us purchase a Wii U.
What? It's a game lounge, and you're missing the best game system that there is.
He's standing by a prediction that he thinks it's going to fail as a system because no one's going to want to play with the Hungry Man dinner, is what he calls it.
But
Well,
sales have been up dramatically.
Yeah, that's the
since
thing. I
Mario
think he's wrong about that. I think Wii U's around for.
Wii U's not here for this time.
I'm going to go on record as saying that the Wii U is, and always has been, an awesome system. The problem is not that it isn't great, it's that it just hasn't found its place in people's living room yet. For me personally, it's the only possible way to ever play a video game at all.
And watched a lot of Netflix.
And sheesh, Netflix. You can Netflix off the TV. That's unbelievable. But with games like Mario Kart 8, it's hitting the mark. The number one problem, in my personal opinion, and I'm a layman, I know nothing about business. If I did, I would be a lot better off than I am right now. But I think the biggest mistake was calling it Wii U. And because every single Wii accessory has Wii in it. Wii Fit, Wii Sports. So you hear Wii U, you think it's just another Wii accessory. You don't know that it's actually a new system. Even if they would have called it like Wii 2, that would have been better. Or something altogether different. It took people too long to figure out that the Wii U was actually a next generation console. And I've heard a few people say that the Wii U is not a next generation console, which really makes me question what defines a next generation console.
Right.
Because if you're talking about like graphics,
Yeah.
okay, maybe it doesn't have the highest graphic capability, but it's the only one that is revolutionizing the way that we experience the games. It's the only one that's changing the interface. It's the only one that's giving us an experience different from the last generation of games. So in my opinion, it's the only one that's a next generation console. I'm getting excited.
I know.
He loves himself some Nintendo people.
I do, seriously.
Process that, everybody. And T-Ski's with you. He says, I'm with you, TJ. Yep. Let's hear from you, T-Ski. The Wii U needs Grand Theft Auto. I don't know about that, Crag the Barbarian.
Yeah, that I will say that is my biggest pain about the way that I guess third-party developers sometimes don't have a profitable experience creating games for the Wii U because they just have a different base, is I do have to miss out on all those epic Mortal Kombat games. Because the last one that came out for a Nintendo system, if I recall correctly, was Armageddon, and it was super awesome and by far the best version of Mortal Kombat I've ever played, because you're unleashing Sub-Zero's freeze ball like this. Like as intuitive as it's possible to be. No complex button combinations. You're doing cool motions just like you would do if you really had power over ice. Or spears. You want to throw a scorpion harpoon? Get over here! Right?
Oh, she's like, yeah,
Am I right?
fatality. Yeah.
Babality.
Babality. Yeah, she's been pretty fierce. This kid is,
Don't blame her. She was born awesome.
yeah, you might not be able to read this,
Look at
but
her parents.
everything about this shirt is true. Don't blame me. I was born awesome. You want to play one? She is super into buttons.
Yeah, let's see how she does on Contra. No.
Let's get you a good one, girl.
She was scrolling through this.
She's already doing a better job than I was.
Hilarious.
Game
Well,
Boy
guys,
Color.
During this episode today of The Lounge, a very special one with TJ Cencula, before The Lounge goes on hiatus, lots of changes coming to our schedule. We are going to be showing some segments from his latest. No, wait a second. He might have spoken to Adam Rady. Did Adam Rady consult with you on which episode you wanted aired during
Yeah,
today's?
I think we decided on Batman, but I don't really care.
But that's a good, it's a good refresher. It's a good
And it's
appetizer
his
for the
birthday.
Marvel.
That's
Batman.
right.
Yeah.
The Batman one was a lot of fun because it had the largest number of cast members of the other one. So I got to really play with a lot of my friends and coworkers for that one. And some faces you guys might recognize because some of those people came in here to do guest appearances for real life game fights.
Yes.
Very cool. So you guys get a peek at that before you see his new one, which if you've missed it, it was Marvel themed, right? And
Marvel themed.
Nearly gave him a heart attack. Nope.
Yes, it's
Really
actually
hard.
coming out tonight. So you guys have to check this one out
Get
because
ready.
one of the most fun things about doing Fight Like the Movies is I can do things that you will never see in the movie itself for obvious reasons, because you can't like kill well, I guess you can kill Superman and stuff in comics, but comics have a special privilege that hasn't extended to the cinema world yet. We don't really accept the killing of like Superman or Batman, so they're always like fake outs.
Yeah.
But for Fight Like the Movies, since I have no real obligation to anything or any story, and there's no continuity, and it's really just about the action, we can do whatever we want, so you get to see some really cool stuff.
That's cool. Oh my god, so you're playing.
I don't even know what's happening right now.
I totally thought she was playing and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, she's
She
good.
actually was.
She's amazing.
I just was trying to figure out what she was doing. All right.
See, everyone that was a Mortal Kombat fan wanted to see new fatalities from every single character. This is Teledro. Yes, now what age would you let your little one play Mortal Kombat?
The things that she watches me edit on a daily basis are so far worse than anything that's in a Mortal Kombat game that this is one thing I'm really unsure how to reconcile. Just by virtue of my career and proximity to my own daughter, I think most people naturally share their job and their profession and their lifestyle with their child, and my job involves a lot of fighting and a lot of violence. So I think it's not a matter of not exposing her to it, because that's unavoidable. It's a matter of educating her about when it's appropriate to use violence in a situation,
Especially against mommy.
and that violence is not something that she can be going up and smacking the dogs, and she can't be smacking mommy in the face.
Wait, hold on. What did the dog do though?
Nothing.
Not that we have these
I'm like,
two
no,
fantastic pit bulls, and
They're great.
they're so tolerant of her. She'll like ride them like ponies, and she'll grab their ears and pull them and pick their nose. And we don't let it happen as soon as it starts, but they're just so unbelievably they're the perfect dogs for this kind of kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's rough and
A
tumble,
smaller
and
dog would have bitten her.
my poor boy dog, his name's Loki. The other day, she's behind me, and I hear her petting the dog, and she says "go go," which is dog in Chinese, and so she's being nice, and then all of a sudden I hear like, and I turn around, and she's just like popping him in the head repeatedly.
Oh, no.
And he's a very big dog. He has a 16-pound head. He almost knocked me unconscious with his head multiple times. So I know it's not doing any damage to him, but I do not in any way want to. I have like a zero tolerance policy on abuse against animals. So I don't want to in any way condone or allow that type of behavior. And it's something that she obviously has an interest in because she's trying to get the reaction out of it. So I don't want to give her that big reaction or it makes her do it more. But yeah, I also want to reinforce that this is not going to be acceptable or tolerated. So we're trying to find that balance right now.
Yeah,
we're hoping it's a phase.
He has a zero tolerance policy when it comes to abuse to animals, but when baby slaps mommy full open palm in the face in the airport,
oh my gosh.
Daddy laughs hard.
When we had a pretty stressful holiday. There was a lot of work to get done before we needed to leave California. I hate to leave California because anytime I do it, it feels like the work just kind of mounts. So I'm already kind of, not in the best state of mind. And we get stuck at O'Hare in Chicago, where I'm from. And everybody's getting frustrated because the flights are delayed. And all of a sudden, baby just lifts her hand back and crack. And it was this loud, like, rich smacking sound, and everybody stops, and she goes, and then raises her hand back like she's gonna get mommy again. I know, you think it's funny. Oh, but I have to tell you guys will appreciate this because you guys are my people. Recently, McDonald's had these Mario Kart racing toys, and it gave me a reason to go to McDonald's, and I got all these little racing toys for her.
All of them. He went to several McDonald's.
Yeah, because she likes these Nintendo characters, and when we have the Mario on, if you've played Mario Kart 8, when you're on the loading screen, there's the silhouette of all the racers going down, and for some reason, she's super fascinated by that. And we call them Xiao Ponyo, which is like her little friends. And so she'll walk right up to the screen and point and follow them. So I'm like, I'm getting her those little racers from McDonald's. And I start associating a sound with each one of these, and now she's repeating it back to me, and it's one of the funniest things ever. Oh. So she has the Mario one, and she goes, woohoo!
What's Bowser?
What's Bowser?
Like, don't interrupt me, Daddy. I'm gaming here.
She does it at home all the time, which is
so adorable.
Hilarious to me. She'll be playing with one car and then the other car, and she starts making Nintendo sounds. It's a proud moment in a dad's life when his child is emulating the sounds of famous Nintendo characters.
Yes, Kurogari, we appreciate that too. Otherwise, there would be a lot of happy meals unconsumed in our house.
Well, Kurogari earlier had requested a Blade Runner fight like the movies at some point.
Blade Runner.
What are the possibilities that we'll see something like that?
Well, I regret to say that Fight Like the Movies is going to expire at 30 episodes. So the final episode is going to be episode 30. The one that releases today is episode 24. So I only have 6 left, and they're all currently pre-scheduled. And then we resume our Mortal Kombat tournament round 2 business.
Warrior Showdown?
What did I say?
Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Same difference.
You know where my brain's at.
Love
So
it.
Warrior Showdown, where we're in our round 2 state. We already shot all of the fights. Everybody did a really super amazing job, and I'm really excited to edit it. But I'm a one-man operation at this point, and the only way that I can ever get this done is by taking some other things off the plate. And unfortunately, Fight Like the Movies is that next casualty. But I'm really proud of the last 24 episodes, and I think the next 6 are promising to be pretty good ones. So I definitely encourage anyone who's in Burbank or in the California area who wants to be a part of these episodes, you got to get down there because we only have a few left. And the people who you see in the episode who are fighting are the people in the class. Some of those people I meet that day. They show up and they say, hey, I'm going to be a part of this class today. And that's one of the coolest things because there's not really too many situations that I know of where you want to be in a stunt fight and that very same stunt fight day that you learn it is getting turned into a show where people are going to watch you show off all of your epic fighting moves.
I love it. You're making magic happen on the fly.
Making magic happen.
Awesome.
Speaking of magic, we do have a few magic ones coming up. Potter's in a couple weeks. So everybody's going to be doing some magic fighting.
gosh. Let's see. Here, Telebro's contributing. I used to have a dog. One day I was doing homework. The dog came around, drooling all over the place. Gave him a fatality. Oh, come on, Telebro.
That's horrible,
Not
Telebro.
okay. Not
That-
even as a joke. Come
That's
on.
Tella no.
Tella no. You have people here chiming in on pit bulls being good pets for babies.
Pit bulls are the
Family
best.
dogs.
They used to be nanny dogs. That's what they were bred for in England.
And they are super good nannies. I am not kidding you when I say she, first of all, the boy dog was the first one to know that the wife here was pregnant. And he was all of a sudden became like hyper protective and hyper conscientious. And he's following her around constantly, like always doing that look to make sure he knows where she is.
Aw.
And then once baby was born, he found his new purpose. All he ever wanted to do was ensure that she was content. If she even started to gurgle a little bit, he would go, and like try to make us go by her to make sure that she was okay.
Oh, that's
Right?
amazing.
You love Go-Go?
Whoa! She does her own stunts.
She wants her
She
wristbands,
does.
Daddy.
She does do stunts. She likes to wear daddy's wristbands.
Aww, it's adorable. That's cool. Now, do you have any aspirations to push her into doing stunt work as an adult or being an athletic?
We definitely would like her to be athletic, and she's already displayed a lot of those characteristics. So it's not. We think that being athletic lends a lot to your life, and then plus when you do sports, you gain a lot of social skills, and it
Yeah.
keeps you out of a lot of trouble usually. So we're definitely going to hope that she's interested in that, whether it be martial arts or dance or anything that's really physical with movement. We definitely won't force anything on her. You know, if she's like, hey, mommy, daddy, I want to start kicking things, then which she already does.
Which she is really good. She does do some good kicks.
Yes.
Do you want to show off your kicks?
You want to show off your kicks?
Kick, 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 kick.
I don't know, daddy.
She holds these perfect Jean-Claude Van Damme style splits kicks up here and just goes tip, 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 tip.
JCB.
And then as soon as she finishes it, she goes, yay! And starts cheering for herself because she knows it's pretty epic. I think that it's natural for most parents to expose their kids to things that are their interests, and so she's certainly going to have no shortage of exposure to those types of things, martial arts and stunts, but just like my parents allowed me the freedom to kind of discover my passions and tried to support me as best as they knew how to kind of give me permission to pursue those things. I want to be that same way. As long as she's not going to do something that is obviously going to be detrimental to her well-being, then I've got her back. I got your back, baby.
You guys are the coolest parents ever. I wish my parents pushed me to be a warrior. And not a doctor,
You like
which
that.
I failed out of.
Hey, pre-med. I did it too.
Nice. The Asian dream.
The Asian parent dream.
Destroying it. One Asian kid at a time.
Tella, bro, I am actually from a northeastern suburb of Chicago, Woodstock, which is about 45 minutes out of downtown Chicago, maybe 45 minutes from O'Hare Airport.
I love this.
His favorite episode, or her favorite episode,
Nope, his, yep.
his, was me kicking your butt.
That was a good episode.
It was really good.
Hey, so one of the good things about Fight Like the Movies capping out at episode 30 is it is going to give me the chance to revisit some of those real life game fights. I always do this with the titles of the show. So I'm calling Warrior Showdown Mortal Kombat. I call real life game fights Fight Like the Movies. It confuses me. But it's going to allow me to revisit some of those old episodes and make some highlight clips and edit some of those fights together because some of them were pretty good and I can't wait to see it.
Yes, they're really
And I
good.
still remember my promise to turn Adam Rady into a fairy. Don't think I forgot about
Oh
it.
no, you you succeeded. He's
I just don't want to make it cheap. I want it to be.
Yeah.
Adam Rady would be a high quality fairy. So. Like full on Navi style.
Oh, that's right.
Look, listen.
The only thing more annoying than never mind.
We're Where's the costume? Put it on and I'm ready.
Yep.
Well, guys, let's see. I believe at the hour mark is when we're going to be showing half of an episode of Fight Like the Movies. Can you tell us about what was the inspiration for starting the whole series?
Yeah, I've been teaching stage combat at Swordplay Studios for 8 years, and I had a roster of students that got really strong. 2 of them being Alex Hartman, who went on to become the Red Power Ranger, and Zine Riz, who went on to become the Black Power Ranger. So just pre-Power Ranger days, I've got these students who are really ready for a lot more, and I knew that just an hour in a class wasn't going to challenge them as much as I felt that they needed, and I wanted to push myself as an instructor, so I thought, let's make a show out of this class. And that was the original impetus for Warrior Showdown. And Warrior Showdown, the first season, was all of my students. We just created this project to make an exciting class experience. We wanted to bring it beyond the scope of just learning how to fight for the camera and actually fighting for the camera. And just surprisingly, it got a quick following on YouTube and other online channels, and I thought, hey, we could do this for realsies. So then, unconnected to the class, we made the Warrior Showdown Round 2 tournament, which just proved to have a lot more obstacles and hurdles, because now we're doing something in a professional capacity. We're not students anymore, and we have to deal with more litigious aspects like insurance companies and, SAG and
those unions.
all these other things. It made it a lot harder. So I wanted to get back to that easy. I don't want to say easy because it's not easy. I wanted to get back to the faster style of making stuff and continue to challenge my students. So I made a series called Fights to Film. And it was a private series that only my students could see because they weren't, not everyone is comfortable with having their rehearsal process be broadcast to the world. And then at some point I'm like, well, what if we did do that? What if we took this class that we're doing every week anyway, and instead of making these private videos, we expand the teaching to include not just the people who are there on the day, but everyone in the world. Anyone who wants to see it can now understand the process that not only we go through to create the fights that we do, but some of the most favorite movies out there. So we look at those movies, we study those movies, we break those movies down. Some of them we have some professional insight into, and some of them we just can look at it and know what they're doing because that's what we do. And so with that angle, I thought it would be an interesting series, and maybe it is. It hasn't really caught on as far as online series go at large, but maybe you guys can help with that. If you check it out and you think it's something that's worthwhile, circulate it, share with your friends, because we like doing this kind of stuff and we want to do more of it. But it really requires more personnel, because for me to do all this, okay, we're not going to be climbing on the game machine.
So cute.
You can push the buttons, but we're not going to be
inclined to let her
climbing
do
on.
it. Jace is at Comic-Con, he can't see. That's all right.
Don't tell Jace my baby climbed on the game machine.
Well, Talabro is a newly anointed mod here, and Talabro, I do have to ask for your help. I'm very short-staffed today because of Comic-Con. So no one has made a bot that displays a link for Fight Like the Movies. Do you mind going into YouTube and getting a link to TJ's YouTube page and posting it periodically? And that would really help me out a lot. And you have the power, sir.
It helped me out too.
Aw.
So basically what we do with the show is we pick a film that is interesting from a stunt or choreography perspective for some reason or another, and then we take what of that is advantageous for sword enthusiasts or actors or stunt performers to learn, and we focus on that lesson during the class, and we create a fight that's inspired by that particular film. Then we shoot the fight after we rehearse it for an hour or an hour and a half, and the class's experience with that fight is part of the episode. And then at the end of it, me and my staff and my friends and co-workers shoot a fight that's inspired by that particular movie.
Awesome.
That is just it's super fun for me. So I'm really indulging myself more than anything. And because of the just breakneck pace of the show, we do one every week. We don't have time to think about it. So what really comes out is just on the spot inspiration. Of course, it takes a lot of time in post-production where we're trying to figure things out. And by a lot of time, I mean like 3 or 4 days, because that's what we have. But on the spot, when we're actually doing the performance, we make up the fight, we perform the fight. It's kind of like what we did here with Fight Like the Movies, where we make it up on the spot, and then we have to perform it on the spot. And so...
Oh, there was a kick. I saw that one. Well, you know what's funny about YouTube is that like one of them hits, and then like everyone goes and watches the whole back catalog.
Yeah, that's all we need. So
exactly.
Guys, I'm ready to embrace my internet celebrity status. So whenever you guys are ready.
Yes, everyone at home, please do share on your Facebook if you can. TJ's YouTube page, would that be the best thing to...
Yeah, I think the YouTube channel is probably the best way. We have a presence on Facebook, and of course all of our stuff is on warriorshowdown.com, but I think YouTube's where it's at. That's where most of the people go to see the stuff. You trying to kick mommy again?
Kuragari is also a mod. Yeah, if someone could please post the links.
Baby!
Oh. Baby. Well, does baby want to pick a game?
All right, baby, which one do you want to play?
Do you want to pick a game?
Dragon? Ooh.
I played the heck out of that game when I was a kid.
Really?
Did you?
It's an obscure title, but I loved that movie so much, and I played that game. I destroyed all those American sailors with my super sweet Chinese kung fu.
See, I watched...
to be Jason Scott.
Did you?
I did, man. When I saw those pectoral muscles, I was inspired. I was like, I didn't even know a man's chest could look like that. I totally want to do that. I still have a ways to go, but I haven't lost hope yet.
What is he doing these days, Jason
He
Scott?
is having fun on his land out in Hawaii. He's from Hawaii.
Oh.
He lives there, and I worked with him on a movie in 2005.
Calling for me!
Called Only the Brave. He is super nice, super laid back, really great guy.
Totally
Awesome.
buff.
You know, I found stunt people are some of the nicest people. I mean, in entertainment, and I don't know if it's just because everyone else in entertainment is so awful that by comparison, stunt people seem like really nice. But
Stunt people are cool. Whenever any of the sets that I've been on
a daily basis for your job, I think you have more perspective about certain things.
I'm not talking about myself. I'm gonna from my experience, any of the sets that I've been on, any of the shows that I've worked on, from super low budget with no recognizable names to really, really high profile celebrities, everyone gravitates towards the stunt team because we're having the most fun. Who does this kind of stuff unless you really love it? Who jeopardizes life and limb and gets bumps and bruises and constantly fighting unless you really, really have this undeniable passion for it? And since we get such a thrill out of doing these things, I think that kind of energy is infectious, and so people always gravitate towards the stunts.
Jen's dying for my girl right now.
she's got the best expression.
She does. She's about to raid your refrigerator for a monster.
She should go for it.
Yeah, and you should bring one to Daddy too, baby girl. She's just now to the age where we can actually give her simple commands.
So, do you want white or blue?
Blue me, baby.
Oh, awesome. So there we go. Ravidian has posted a link to the YouTube channel. If you click on that.
We do have a Twitter. It's at Warrior Showdown.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, little Exploriton. You guys can't see it because we have one camera here, but she is now completely raiding the lounge
She
for
went straight
anything that
for
she can find.
The drawer that had the paper cutter in it.
Oh yeah.
Where the knives are.
She finds the knives. She goes for it. We have to sleep with one eye open with this baby. And I'm not kidding. In fact, I sleep with both eyes open as a regular habit. It's just how I go. It's also known as not sleeping. We do. It's at Warrior Showdown is our Twitter. What's that called? Is that a handle?
Yep.
Twitter handle? See, I'm getting a little bit tech savvy. I was doing a Fight Like the Movies episode a few days ago, and one of my new young students, she's like 20, is teaching me how to operate my iPhone. She's like, if you're gonna pay this much money for a device, the least you can do is know how to use it. I don't disagree. So I can't wait till my daughter's to the point where she can start teaching me how to do some of this stuff. I am not a technically savvy person. I do a lot of technical things because I need to achieve the creative side, particularly where post-production and editing is concerned. I have quite a broad skill set, but it's not because I'm smart or because I have a natural way with computers or software. It's because that is what is required of me to unlock the secrets of my creative dreams. So it kind of forces my hand, and I'm too determined and too hell-bent on achieving what it is that I want to do to let a little thing like not knowing how to do it stand in my way.
Ah, there you go. I've got a little table. So.
All right. Baby's having some juice. That's a new word for her. She says that now, juice.
Aww. Does she really?
Yes.
In context or just as a standalone word?
I think she knows it. She knows juice, right? I'm gonna trash this.
Oh.
Don't worry, guys. I haven't ditched you.
She'll be back shortly,
she could
guys.
say juice. She says shoes.
Oh, maybe she's saying shoes, and I thought she was saying
I think
juice.
she's saying shoes.
She was just standing here for a second. I'm so bummed that it was off camera, but she was just looking up at me making the cutest faces.
Yes.
Oh my god, what
When
a
she
treasure.
pinches her face like that, she looks exactly like my mom did when my mom was young.
Yeah, you don't know love until you have a kid. It's like I thought I loved my dogs, and I thought that, and I do. I totally love my dogs, but it's a completely different experience when you have this life that you are completely responsible for. That's a perfect blend of you and your soulmate. That becomes your new reason for living.
That's
I
adorable.
know.
Yeah.
You want some of Daddy's energy drink? Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Don't call child services on me. That would require me to share it.
Oh, cool. Kyle, how are you also able to post links? Interesting. Yeah, everybody that can, please post a link as often as possible. We can get people to subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, and even better, check them out and like them and share them with all of your buddies, because that's how we do this kind of stuff.
Yep, on your social media. The fighting, I do have to say, the fighting in your videos is way better and more legit than a lot of the fighting I see in like other people's videos, and it like bothers me that some videos that have awful fighting get so many hits. You know what I mean? Does it ever bother you to see
I appreciate that sentiment. You know, I don't think of it that way. I expect the fighting in my videos to be of a fairly high caliber because that's what we do. That's the people who I'm fighting, that's our profession. So the fighting should be really good. I do see a lot of videos where the fighting is done by people who don't have the same background as me or don't have the same amount of training as me, and so the final product may not be to my taste. But I can't let it bother me because I don't know the secrets of unlocking YouTube success. I just don't understand it. So these people know something that I don't know. I could find videos of like a cat licking itself that for some reason 7 million people thought was worth watching. And while I do think that there are people out there who would enjoy watching people beat each other up, I haven't figured out how to tap into that audience. So the fighting is great. The show itself, I think, is entertaining, at least holds someone's interest for a small portion of their day. But what I don't understand is how to get people to look at it. So whatever it is that's required to achieve that, I'm not doing it. So.
Boobs. No, but you got boobs in yours as well.
Boobs. Oh, we bring the boobs. Believe it.
Boobage. Sure.
And it's not mine.
Actually.
We just lost all our viewers. No, just kidding.
Actually, the next episode that was yesterday's. We already shot it, so this will hopefully come out before next Wednesday. Is Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, nice.
And there were some boobs. Some pretty
some boobs.
boobs.
Definitely check that one out next Wednesday.
Awesome.
Definitely, cause yeah.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna tell you guys because I'm not coming back between now and the time when this airs. So, what we normally do for these after-hours fights is we create a fight that's we don't take the choreography from the movie. we take the style and we replicate it in an original fight that hopefully gives you the same kind of feel, but the tone always is somewhat of a comedic nature. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And for Conan, the more I thought about it, the more I realized anything that we do is going to be Conan, and I don't want to just repeat it. So I want to find some way that it stands out as being separate from the movie. So of course I got my good buddy Eric Raddick, who you guys may know as Crag the Barbarian, to come in and play Conan, and he was amazing, so awesome. And a bunch of my other stunt friends came in and they played these cultish snake barbarians who we fought. I played Valeria. And for those of you guys who are familiar with Conan the Barbarian, Valeria is Conan's one true lady love. And I'm not gonna lie, I was hot. Like, I figured if you're gonna go girl, you might as well let her touch that, mommy. If you're gonna go girl, you might as well, like, do it the best that you can. I was hot. And we shoot these at Swordplay Studios in Burbank, California, where we do the class. And so people are constantly coming in and out of the studio while we're working on this. And one of my buddies and coworkers came in and he walked by and he did a couple double takes, and then after a few minutes he goes, "Oh man, I didn't know that was you at first. I walked by and I was thinking, who's that hot chick?" I know it sounds weird, but I was good looking. I was.
So the boobs are going to be
in his face.
but the boobage.
The boobage.
Stackage, major stackage.
No, it was just a really well sculpted piece of woman's armor that it fit me perfectly. It hugged all my feminine curves. It made me feel like a lady.
And it makes another appearance in Warrior Showdown.
Eric sent me a text a few hours ago. I haven't responded to him yet, but if he's in here, maybe he'll hear it. He said, "Are you
turning yourself on, editing yourself?"
I'm going to read it exactly because I'm sure he won't mind. All right, Eric Raddick says to TJ, "Are you turning yourself on, editing yourself as a woman? I bet it's a dream come true." Well, the truth of the matter is I haven't started that one yet because the Marvel one has destroyed me. But the Marvel one was worth it. I am really, really excited that it's done. You guys will be able to see it in probably about, what would you guess, 11 or 12 tonight? Check it out tomorrow.
You know, we're going to share it. We'll share it on the Twin Galaxies Facebook, which now has like 100,000 people liking it.
Awesome.
So there we go. That should
hopefully
start a little snowball effect. It's up to you guys at home to make
yeah.
that snowball
Let's kickstart
bigger.
this bad boy.
Hell yeah. Share it all over the place when it goes live tonight at roughly...
Probably an hour after I get home, so maybe
right.
like 10 or 11.
Nice. You guys won't have to wait long. Ravidian wants to know if you have any tattoos.
I do, actually. Both of us do. My wedding ring is tattooed on. I don't know if you can see that.
That's incredible!
But I am in a profession where you cannot wear rings. You can't wear any kind of jewelry. I'm constantly in a costume as some character other than myself, and I am constantly doing athletic things where jewelry just gets in the way. But it's still very important to me that the world knows that I found my soulmate. I'm a taken man, and
that's right, ladies and other ladies. It's mine.
That's amazing. I love that you tattooed it on. I mean, talk about permanent.
Yeah, it's permanent. The only way this thing's coming off is if the whole finger goes with it.
Oh.
What do you think, baby girl? What do you think?
Stop distracting me, Daddy. I want to see the lights.
He's so adorable.
Yeah, she loves some Mario Kart. I can't wait until... I don't let her touch the Wii U. I know that might make me a mean dad. I let her play with the Wii, but when she gets a little bit old enough to not chuck the thing, if she gets a little frustrated, or to beat the dog over the head with it, then she can play with it. I liked that burp. That was pretty good there.
That was adorable.
She just... It was. So once she can start playing these Mario Kart games with me, I will for sure be prioritizing. She's going right for the glass bottles. You guys might not know this, but there's a shelf of like 20 or 30 glass Coke bottles. My daughter went straight for it. Don't let her touch any of that stuff, Ponyo.
I won't. No, it's all good.
She's trying to wreck Adam Rady's office. And he's not here. He's in. Do they know he's at Comic-Con?
Yeah, they do.
He's off at Comic-Con, so we're gonna mess with his stuff.
Yeah.
Push
all the buttons, little one. All of them.
Push all of Adam Rady's buttons.
Limited Vision says, Nattles, you look great.
Aw, thanks, Mom.
Aw.
Limited Vision is my dad, and my mom might be there also. My dad has been releasing his own series of videos lately that are family videos, and man, they're so awesome. He just did one, I think it was yesterday or the day before, of my younger brother doing these super epic backflips on a wakeboard. And there's not many things my brothers can achieve physically that I can't also do, but my brother has surpassed me so supremely as far as water sports go. I look at him and I'm just like, wish I could do that kind of stuff. I can do it on the ground, but I can't do it on the water. He can do it on the water, but he can't do it on the ground.
You're so funny.
Hello everybody, thanks for joining us and welcome to the 17th episode of Fight Like the Movies, the tutorial series where we study cinema's most epic fight scenes and employ what we discover to develop a deeper understanding of film, combat. I'm your instructor TJ Cencula, and this week's lesson, The Dark Knight Trilogy. The first film released in 2005 with sequels following in 2008 and 2012. Directed by Christopher Nolan, with stunt coordinators Paul Jennings, Rick Lefevre, Tom Struthers, and Cy Hollins, in addition to many assistant stunt coordinators, fight consultants, and fight arrangers. Hey Gotham, let's roll it! Strictly speaking, Batman Begins is far from the actual beginning of Batman's big screen adventures. Batman has fought his way through many feature-length forays, including a classic gem starring the cast of the hit 60s television show. Tim Burton provided a popular pair of picks presented with his signature dark twist, followed by a couple of campy entries from director Joel Schumacher. Fans are even treated to a few animated features from the brilliant minds behind Batman the Animated Series. But Batman Begins was the beginning of something. Nolan took the fictional Gotham and transplanted it right into the heart of America's most dystopian city. Authentic, gritty, and believable. Many consider Nolan's interpretation on the Batman mythos to be the most realistic. His on-screen depiction of Bruce Wayne's pre-costume vigilante days translates as somewhat plausible to our modern sensibilities. It might be a stretch to say it's realistic. It is a Hollywood action film after all, but one could argue not any more far-fetched than any other popular action franchise like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, or Transporter. Batman's training with the League of Shadows is a compelling combination of weapons work, close-quarter combat, martial arts, and all the usual tricks of disguise, deception, and misdirection one might expect from an underground network of assassins. Beneath the seedy underbelly of Batman's beloved Gotham crawls the most popular and extensive rogues gallery in superhero history. In other Batman incarnations, he's been known to roll with the likes of Superman and Wonder Woman, facing all manner of intergalactic enemies with an endless arsenal of extraordinary abilities. But Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy takes a more intimate approach and carefully handpicks Batman baddies compatible with his real-world take on Gotham. That means characters like Clayface, Mr. Freeze, Man-Bat, or any other villains with characteristically supernatural qualities didn't make the cut. But the vast cast of crazies in Arkham Asylum provided no shortage of top-tier selections. Bruce Wayne combines his combat qualifications with bat-themed top-secret military-inspired armor and a complementary array of other skills such as precision driving, high falls, rappelling, even spelunking, just to name a few. Wow, Batman has more than a little in common with your top Hollywood stuntman, even down to the care he takes in masking his true identity. Let's meet the class. Fire up the Batmobile, cause here's where the rubber meets the road. It's time for action! So how do we encapsulate the way that Batman fights in one consecutive bit of action? I figured the most exciting way to do this would take one of his first encounters with the League of Assassins and one of his final encounters and composite them into one fighting experience. What's tricky about this is I asked the class to transition through many different ranges in terms of distance. Batman starts out his action with something similar to a katana. However, for the purposes of the class, we're using a stage saber. This is because Batman is able to use blocks with his forearm, and we don't have this ability without his super cool ninja spiked bracers, so we're using stage shapers instead because it's a lot safer. And we're also designing this particular fight so that the sword absorbs the impact of the parry first, and then the hand is used as an ancillary secondary beat parry maneuver. Then we incorporate some hand-to-hand. This is the distance you would be if you're gonna punch and kick people, and that transitions into a series of submissions or grappling postures, which compresses the distance even more where we're body to body. The main thing you need to keep in mind when you're doing this kind of staged violence is that the victim is always in control. We transition from one pressure lock to another, but it's really all just a trick. The way to safely do this is to not apply any real joint pressure to your partner. You engage your legs, you go through the motions with your upper body, but really all of the action of playing the pain and of torquing the body, that is the victim who is coordinating it. Nobody knows the range of your motion better than you. And so the best way for us to ensure the maximum range of motion is for it to be controlled by the person who actually is controlling that body, as opposed to it being done by an outside force, which could in fact really hurt somebody. I cannot stress enough how important this aspect of it is in terms of keeping your fight safe. The other thing we address is the importance of reactions in communicating to the audience what's happening during a hit. For example, the attacker throws the punch. If that connects with the character, my action doesn't change as if they dodge it. The only way as an audience we know if that punch connects is determined by the reaction of the person who's getting hit. Either they're dodging it, whoa, or they're getting hit by it, psh. But the onus is on the person, on the victim, on the recipient of the blow to communicate to the audience exactly what's going down. Action is important, but not quite as important as reaction.
You have that kid who's kind of like blonde.
Blake Griffin, I like that
Oh, yeah.
his name.
Yeah, I was like, wow. But it sounds like I'm sure it's a very interesting blend, but I'm like, wow, unfortunate that like giant red afro.
I'm sure he'll
it's a
grow
boy?
to love it
Yeah.
because it's so unique.
Maybe in movie roles or something.
You probably will.
Totally.
We're back!
We're back. So you were telling the story. What did
Yeah, so you got to see the class go at it, and after an hour's worth of rehearsal, we actually shoot the process. So some of what you see is them in the progressive stages, and usually most of what that footage is the final compilation of their fight. And at the end of the episode, or usually the second half of the episode, is the professional staff doing it. And so you'll get to see our take on some Dark Knight fighting. What really excited me about this particular episode, I put way too much work on myself to do it, but I thought, when else in my life am I going to have the time and the connections to unlock Batman's entire rogues gallery? So Batman pretty much takes on everybody. If it's not somebody with some crazy supernatural powers like Clayface, they're in there. Mr. Freeze, he didn't make the cut, but everybody else, they're there.
Amazing.
Especially Robin.
Robin is so there. You guys are gonna. This is gonna make you rethink. You're gonna be like, Batman who? Let's forget all about
that
Superman
Robin?
v Batman. Let's do Superman v Robin, because that's how epic Robin is in this Fight Like the Movies episode.
Hilarious. How do you feel? You had mentioned a little bit of Potter previously in this conversation. Did you hear the comments he made about how he wanted to play Robin in a Batman movie?
I did hear that. I did hear
What do you
that.
think about that casting, sir?
This is what I
And
think.
Madam.
Like being in this world, I think if you're Sam Jackson and you want to be a Jedi, you go on a talk show and say you want to be in Star Wars. If you're Daniel Radcliffe and you want to be a superhero, you make it publicly known, because that is going to put you on those people's radar. Whether or not you would make a good Jedi or Robin, that's just not how this industry works. And I really like to reserve my judgment, because there are many times where I look at somebody and I think that is an inspired casting choice, or that is an idiotic casting choice, or that person knows somebody who knows somebody. Because you really can't tell until you see, the sum of the parts. Nobody really knew that Heath Ledger was going to be a good Joker until they saw it, and it's pretty widely considered to be a pretty landmark performance.
Absolutely.
And the same can be said for characters like Captain Jack Sparrow. Disney was terrified. They're like, what is he, a complete homosexual? You're ruining our movie. And Johnny Depp's like, look, you hired me, you know what I do, get out of my bubble. And now, who's cashing in? Disney's cashing in, because
Pirates 5 is coming out in 2017.
let her pull that shelf
Are
down.
you serious?
Yes, it just got announced.
Ooh,
Amazing.
I saw that.
So a Radcliffe Robin, I say if he wants that and he can pull that off, good for him. I will see it. I will see it. And if he does an amazing job, awesome. And if he does a really amazing job, maybe it will live up to the standard of the Robin that you're going to see at the end of this Fight Like the Movies episode. Maybe. Probably not though, because this is like some people. Everyone has their favorite Robins. They like Tim Grayson. Look at me. Dick Grayson, Tim Drake. Nobody really likes Jason, but
Whatever happened to that guy?
some people even like Carrie, and I really like the dynamic of Damian Wayne.
Really?
I do. I like it because it's the only Robin that Batman can't like kick out. so like if the other Robins are bad, Batman can be like, all right, now you're gone. Get out of here.
And yet,
But Damian, he's got to keep him around. Blood ties. Blood ties make people do things that they wouldn't otherwise do. So it's interesting to me.
unless they die,
Unless they die.
which yes.
So I think that out of all of those, no matter which Robin is your Robin, I think most people who grew up in my age, we have a strong appreciation for Tim Drake.
Yes.
But Dick Grayson is Robin.
Aha.
But
I like your thinking, sir.
we like him as Nightwing too, which makes us more accepting of Tim Drake. But people who are growing up now, to them, they saw, well, maybe not now, but like a decade after me, they saw Tim Drake as Robin, that he's their Robin. So that's who they think about. They only know Dick Grayson as Nightwing.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is interesting how that goes.
Generational Robins, because Batman is always Batman.
Batman's always Batman.
Yeah. Did you hear that they got rid of Nightwing?
They do. What do you mean?
He had to hang up the whole situation because in the comics, the villains ended up exposing his entire identity. So they had to so Nightwing no longer could be Grayson. So I think he either faked his death or something, but now he's just Grayson. He's now a super spy.
Yes.
Yeah. Last week was, I think, when the first issue premiered.
Did you guys see Young Justice? That show is so good.
Oh man, is it? I haven't seen it.
So it's on Netflix. You should watch it. I didn't see it for all of the time that it was airing because I just don't really have the type of schedule that allows you to be up to date with program television. But marathon style, when you've got your projects in the render queue of the folder, kill a few episodes all at one time, or you can watch it off the phone. That show is awesome. It's super awesome.
Do you mean Young Justice Invasion?
Young Justice Invasion, I think, is the second season.
Ravidian, though, disagrees. It's kind of weak in my opinion, compares nothing to Justice League.
I loved Justice League. I thought Justice League was a really, really strong show. I had a buddy who was telling me, watch Avengers Assemble, it's super good. And I like animated shows, so I was like bored out of my mind after like the first 10 minutes. With Young Justice, I was so impressed at the complex storylines that they were able to weave. I wonder if you watch an isolated episode, how much you can glean without having seen the backstory and the context. I don't really know. I think that's one of the trickiest balances with television, but particularly children's shows, because you have to treat any episode like it's the first one somebody is seeing. But if you want to tell a story that's overarching, to find that delicate balance and create these compelling characters and these really deep intertwining plot lines, I can't think of a show that has done it to better effect than Young Justice. I think there are better shows, but finding that perfect balance between a very mature and real sense of drama and suspense and danger, but still having that tone of it being comedic and appropriate for kids, with all these these are like kids who are going toe to toe with the worst bad guys that the world has. And it's not just like bad to be bad. These are bad guys that in their minds are good guys. They have their own agenda and they really create some very complex characters. And for me, that was super fascinating. Where Avengers Assemble, I'm like, I'm Hulk, I smash stuff. I'm Tony Stark, I build stuff. I'm Captain America, I have a shield. That's pretty much all there is to that
Captain
show.
America, I have a shield. You know what? Would you ever consider doing a live action? This is the video I think would go super viral because people went ape shit both times it happened in the animated universe. Would you ever do a Batman versus Batman Beyond live action fight?
Batman versus Batman Beyond?
That would blow people's minds. If in a live action form, like people they lost their isht when they saw the like the 2-minute animated version of that for the 75th anniversary.
Yeah, I love that video. You know what? There's an easy answer to that question. Anybody v anyone, I'm interested. Like the idea of people. I was that kid who at 4 or 5 would bug the heck out of my friends on the bus. Who would win in a fight between?
You were a very
He
mature
bugs
sounding
people
kid.
in the grocery store. He's like talking to our checkout clerk. Hey, could you beat up your friend over there in the checkout aisle?
I absolutely do. It fascinates me. There's something, not just who would actually win. That is fascinating. But it goes beyond that. It's who people think would win and why they pick what they would pick. And that kind of logic really, I'm intrigued by it. Because of course I have my own reasons. For some people, and that was part of the experiment of Warrior Showdown, where it wasn't just creating cool fights, it was creating fights where the outcome is determined by the viewership. So the people who are watching it can vote on who they want to win, totally free of charge, like no commitment attached. All they gotta do is click a button. And most people are willing enough to click a button. So I wanted to see, would people be winning because they're a more popular warrior class? Would people be winning because their costume looks cooler? Would people be winning because the actor who's playing them is more recognizable? Would people be winning because they have partially exposed boobs? I don't know. And all of these things, I just was perfectly content to lay out there and have and see the response. But I've actually gotten a considerable amount of negative feedback from people when they see the outcomes, because they're like, popular vote? What kind of a determining factor is that? That's the stupidest way to decide. And so I think, but what they're not taking into consideration is what people take into consideration when they vote. Because people might, they're voting on what's more popular, but maybe they are thinking about all of these factors. I don't know what people are determining their votes by. So
It's interesting. I never thought of it that way, where you're like actually learning a lot about people's psychology and their preferences. It says something about them, what they choose.
You learn a lot about people really quick by asking who would win in a fight questions.
Now, Ravidian, this has brought up something that super controversial, especially on the internet. It's a hot button topic. A lot of videos devoted to it. Goku or Superman in a fight? Now we're
I'm
gonna
sure you
analyze
guys.
your psychology.
I'm sure you guys have seen Death Battle by Screw Attack, and they did a very in-depth breakdown of who would win between Goku and Superman. And I think it boils down to one simple factor. Okay. If you put aside all the complex factors, like the fact that they exist in realities that have different rules, like Goku's world is a world that Superman has never existed in, so we don't know what his vulnerability or susceptibility to certain things that are in that world are like. We know Superman has no particular resistance against magic. Is it Kamehameha magic, or is it chi energy? I don't know.
Oh, good point.
So I would say if we just look at them from the warrior aspect, I think there's no way that Goku wins that fight. And here's why. Because Superman is a god unless you have kryptonite. He's unstoppable unless you have kryptonite. And Goku never exploits his opponent's weaknesses, ever. In fact, he insists on having his opponents at their best all the time. Even when people like the most heinous human beings or Saiyan beings in the known galaxy, he still gives them sensu beans so that he can challenge himself. So because he's always looking for that next challenge, Goku is going to want Superman to bring his A game. And if Superman brings his A game, nobody wins. He destroys them.
Have you seen the there have been a few comics where he's like, oh, the only reason why I haven't done this yet is because I was holding back, and then he does something that's like retarded. Like he's like, it's because it's a power that I didn't even know I had. I've been so used to holding myself back, I didn't realize I could.
Goku?
No, Superman.
Goku does that too.
Does he?
That's something that they have in common.
Like they don't even know their own limits. They're
Yeah,
like,
because
oh,
unless
shit.
you have some, and that's what gets Goku off, is pushing his limits. He's somebody who's always trying to reach that next level. I don't think Superman has that kind of drive. I think Superman's really all about using the abilities that he has to preserve justice. And Goku has his own sense of justice, but I think it plays second fiddle to his personal drive for self-improvement. Look at that little monkey baby.
Cute. She's gorgeous.
Who do you think would win, wife? Goku or Superman?
Oh, I think you bring a very compelling argument. I'm like, oh, I would have to think on it more.
This is what I love about my wife is I ask these ridiculous questions to everybody. Of course, that she's no exception to that. She doesn't just give these offhanded answers. She thinks about it. She sometimes contemplates for so long that I forget that I even asked her the question. And we've I've totally moved on mentally to a new place. And then she answers it. A while ago,
Oh no.
I said, do you think I would make a good president? And she kind of got quiet and I went on to something else. I completely forgot that I had ever even said that. And then after a while she goes, I think you would make a better king. And now, first of all, my ego just totally inflates.
Good
And
answer.
I'm thinking, wow, I definitely married the right woman. I'm
Good
like,
answer.
why are you saying that? She goes, well, because presidents have limitations. They have to jump through the bureaucratic hurdles and people stand in their way and they prevent them from doing what it is that they believe that they can do. But kings, on the other hand, can overrule people, and you have a strong moral compass and you don't ask people to do things that you wouldn't do yourself, and you're the first person to get your hands dirty, and you have a good work ethic, you'll make the hard decision. As she's describing me, I'm thinking, is that really me? I sound awesome! I should be king!
Adorable.
I thought you were going to tell them the story about the
Okay, this is a better story. Okay, I don't know why I didn't lead off with that one. All right, so I don't know why I was thinking along the lines. Maybe I had just read Noah's Ark or something, but I was thinking about animals and like if an alien species were to look at our planet and I was selected to be the delegate to determine which 10 animals we're going to showcase as being representative of Earth's fauna.
I love this already.
I'm like, what 10 animals would I choose? So I'm thinking, well, definitely a lion and probably a shark, maybe some kind of bird of prey. Probably get like some big exotic beast like a rhinoceros, and maybe a wolf. Then I asked Natalie what she would pick, and just like she normally does, she takes a very long time to answer. I forgot I even asked her the question, and then she goes, a turkey? And I said, a turkey? A turkey? All the animals in the world, you're gonna showcase what Earth's, like, representative of all of Earth's animals, and you pick a turkey? And she's like, well, you can eat it.
And it represents, it's very common, like that.
And it's very common.
You are picking all the
Yes,
extraordinary things.
exactly.
I was picking what was most representative of
I'm
the
picking the
animals.
things that are gonna make this alien species think twice about trying to take us over. She's picking the animals. They're gonna make them want to come and eat us.
I was being scientific about it.
I love that.
It's just our brains function in very different ways, which is why I think we are perfect puzzle pieces. Because I'm the one who's thinking sharks and wolves and lions, and she's like, turkey? So she keeps me level. She keeps me level.
I love it. That's adorable. And she makes a good point.
She does make a good point. You can eat those.
You could eat them.
But I would rather show this alien species animals that could eat them, so
There
that
we
they're
go.
like, ooh,
Maybe not.
But
so
what
much
if they're not
invasion.
hostile? What if we need them to form a symbiosis, and the only way they would form a symbiosis with us is if they knew that they could gain nutrition rather than being killed?
Makes a good point.
Yes, but the king of Earth has the best interest of the people in mind, and while I would demonstrate no hostility towards these aliens, I would want them to know that if they cross us, the hammer comes down!
You should tell them that the sharks can survive in space.
Yes.
Yes, all kinds of lies.
Give them 10 different humans.
You're like, this one is Kobe Bryant.
They'd all have to be exceptional specimens.
So it's
In this corner, we have Kobe Bryant. In this corner, we have the woman who plays Coach Beast on Glee. The only exceptional specimens of humans.
Like, this is The Rock.
That
He's
guy?
just cast as Shazam. That's hilarious.
William
oh,
Wallace.
Right. We had this question. I believe you've answered it before. I can't imagine you wouldn't have. But it's also a question that's popular on Reddit, which is, would you rather fight? So, okay, now I see
Oh
the
yeah,
relevance.
bring it on.
Now I see the relevance. Would you rather fight 100 horse-sized ducks?
100
I'm sorry, duck-sized horses,
duck-sized horses.
or
Okay.
one horse-sized duck?
One horse-sized duck. I would tame it and I would ride it and I would become the ultimate knight. People would look at me and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, he's riding that duck!" And I would be like, "That's right."
Your argument is, what is it called? Well, your argument is invalid. As you say that as you ride your duck, your giant duck. But what if you had to fight one option to the death? As in you have to kill 100 duck-sized horses, or kill one horse-sized duck.
The other way, right?
Yeah, and I know we had no animals will actually be harmed in real life in
So-
the discussion of this hypothetical
So
situation. No weapons.
horses are an animal that I have a lot more experience with than ducks, and I think while I have been on my share of very aggressive horses who did not want me on them in any way, I think ducks are meaner. Ducks are a lot meaner than horses. So I think that horses by nature lend themselves to domestication. They are a creature that is very willing to allow us to get on their back and charge them into danger. They submit themselves in that way. So I think that a horse would be a little bit less of a threat. The problem isn't the horse itself, it's the number of them. And when you make it smaller, you actually make the horse less dangerous. But if it's the size of a duck, I think I could handle 100 duck-sized horses, but I would rather fight the horse-sized duck.
Just because it's a better story to tell in a bar
it's
later.
the Goku complex. I would feel horrible as the guy who killed all these tiny little horses. I slaughtered 100 duck-sized horses, but if I slayed a horse-sized duck, I'm a hero.
That's true.
You're not a hero if you if you're like a knight and you go to Munchkin Land and you kill the best Munchkin Land warriors, are people going to be like, "Yay, good job"? They're going to be like, "You're a bully. You're a bully and a jerk." But if you slay one giant, all of a sudden you're like
You're a hero.
the talk of the town. So I would take on that horse-sized duck, and then
And feed it to the people.
I would feed it to the people, be a hero.
Ravidian says the horse-sized duck would be good eating for a village.
Very good eating.
Yep. Now you know where my wife's head is at. She's like, "Turkey? Let's go pick the duck so we can eat it. You can't eat horses."
Oh, and she's Chinese.
horse.
maybe she would eat a
lot
horse.
with a horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
Yes, we
A
could.
lot
You
of
could have
delicious
like
things for that.
Peking duck forever.
a turducken, durducken, Hugh muckin. Like you stick so many things in that duck's butt, you wouldn't even believe it. Horse-sized one, man.
Well, we have another animal-based question that it was common in the lounge for a while. It was, damn, what was it? There were 3 things. Great white shark.
Oh yeah. I would do that anyway. Come on, shark! I'll pop you one, right? I'll like go straight for the gill.
Are you kidding
Buddy,
me?
the gill.
No, you wouldn't. You're terrified of water.
But I'm not terrified of sharks.
But it was a white shark, great white shark, in its own environment.
But see, for some reason,
His mic is
that
off.
doesn't scare
Oh,
me.
I think your mic just died.
It's fixed.
Wait, is it green? He's good. Okay, it's all good.
Do you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the thing. I have an irrational lack of fear of sharks, but I have an irrational terror of the ocean. I'm more scared of a piece of seaweed brushing against my leg than I am at a fin swimming at me. I'm terrified completely irrationally of being in a swimming pool because that octopus from Popeye is gonna grab me, but I'm not scared of sharks.
That's
And
so
I don't know
funny.
why that is. Because a shark could obviously really do some damage. It could take my limbs off, but I'm just not scared of it. But I'm super scared of squids and octopus and clams and seaweed.
Clams, eh? And Craig agrees with you, the ocean is scary as hell.
Yes, it's super.
Now, what if the option was...
Ah!
What was the other thing?
Sorry,
I was all about killing that shark.
A shark, a full-sized gorilla, silverback,
Oh yeah.
or polar bear.
Rady has asked me this question before.
I believe it's his question.
Yeah.
I believe he invented this question.
Okay, so I would not pick the polar bear.
No.
Getting hit by a polar bear's paw is like getting hit with a 10,000-pound sledgehammer. That thing hits me, I'm done. And I don't know that I'm fast enough to be able to get away from this thing. The gorilla, if a chimpanzee's, I read somewhere that a chimpanzee's strength is 15 times that of a human. I have to imagine that if that's true, then a gorilla is even that much more strong than a human. So it could probably just rent me limb from limb by grabbing me and pulling me. The shark, while it might be a 25-foot chunk of muscle with teeth, I like my odds against the shark better.
Interesting. Fascinating.
Because the shark, it's I think it's a little bit less adaptable. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but at least in my mind,
You're right.
if the shark is limited to its environment in ways that the other two are not. Polar bears can swim. You're not going to escape from that thing by getting in the water. Gorillas can climb trees. They're pretty much as adaptable as humans are to their environment. So there's no escaping that thing. The shark, I grab it right by the face and start punching it. Actually, what I would really do is I saw this Shark Week thing about tantric, where if you rub its nose, and they even did it on a great white, the thing just goes totally, like, it goes tail up. It's the most bizarre thing. You almost can't even believe it to see it. They go up to the shark, and they start like rubbing its nose, and the shark just goes paralyzed, totally paralyzed. The tail tips up to the top, and they just rub it, and as soon as they stop rubbing it, the shark just like comes back to and swims off. I would try that. I would lure it in with a little tantric massage, and then I'd punch it in the right in the shark gills. And then I'd gouge its beady little eyeballs out so that it couldn't find me. It'd have to try to smell my blood, but because the only blood in the water would be the sharks, it would never find me.
I love that. That might be the best answer we've ever gotten to that question. Yeah. I, like, personally, gorilla immediately ruled out. Immediately. Because, have you seen the photographs of that one that was ripped apart by the chimp?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
that's
the chimp got
horrible.
creative with where it shoved its, like,
Yeah.
like, she just had eyeballs and, like, her lip ripped off. And that's a chimp. You're right. A gorilla would you know, with that opposable thumb, do a lot more damage, a lot more quickly.
I didn't even think about that. Like the higher functioning brain processes makes it more creative in the way that it can hurt you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could train a chimpanzee to be an actor in movies.
Yeah.
I did a stunt show at Universal, and they have an orangutan there that performs more complex functions than some people I know. And when this thing gets a little bit like irritated or irritable, they pull it from the show. Because if it starts getting a little bit crazy, it's too powerful. These are powerful creatures.
I love it. The orangutan is too powerful. We must remove it from the stunt show.
Yeah, take it out.
That's amazing. But yeah, I think you're right. Polar bear, shark is probably better odds.
Now, would you rather fight a shark on land or a tiger in water?
Shark on land.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tiger.
You elbow that thing, drop kick it a few times.
Yeah, that's easy. The only thing that would...
They do. They could be alligators in the water.
Yeah. And if the shark, the only problem is if the shark thrashes, that'll take you out.
When you have like 200 razor blades in your mouth, even getting anywhere near that, it's dangerous. But it does have some very limited control over its movement when it's on land. I think all it's thinking is get me back in the water. So you probably make a little bit better off. Where the tiger's like, I'm gonna eat you. I don't care if we're in a tree, if we're on land, or if we're in the water. I'm gonna take you down. I'm the real king of the jungle if we're in India.
Exactly. Craig poses a very thoughtful question. Would you rather fight a lion, a witch, or a wardrobe?
I do fight a wardrobe just about every day.
You fight
The one I would least want to fight is the wardrobe. I would fight the witch, of course, because a lion is one of nature's most majestic beasts. And I want to punch people in the face when I see those safari pictures where they're in these reservations where the lions are like acclimated to human behavior and they see humans out there all the time and they just lounge about, and people talk about how they stalked it for days. Yeah, you stalked it for days. It walked right up to your truck, laid down in the shade, and you shot and killed it, you jerk. Like that makes me mad. So I would definitely not want to fight the lion. That, and it would probably shred me up. Especially if it was Aslan, because now we're combining a divine lion, divinity with a lion. I wouldn't even try. I would just be like, all right, I surrender. But that wardrobe, it infuriates me. It has the annoying factor for it, where you get lost, you're trying to find something. If there's one thing in life that I detest beyond all things, it's looking for stuff. So like if I know where it is, or well, I don't know where it is obviously, but I know that it's somewhere, but I can't find it. So this extends to like keys or costume pieces that I have to use for something or another. Mostly costume pieces because that's how I make my trade. So I'm looking for things constantly. It drives me crazy. But witches? When do you have the chance to get in a one-on-one with a witch? I would take her down.
There's that Goku mentality again. Like, who would pose the best challenge? I like that. That's funny.
Well, I think it's the most righteous kill. Because if you kill the lion, you're just a jerk. Besides, you're probably going to lose anyway. If you fight the wardrobe, people just think you're crazy. And even if you are, you still don't need to give people unnecessary ammunition. But the witch, people are going to thank you. They're going to be like, oh, phew, you took out that witch. We did not want to have to do that. You're a hero. See, it's a hero complex. I grew up on games like Legend of Zelda. As soon as I read the words, it's dangerous out there. Take this. I was like, all right, let's do this. Give me one of those things. I can do this.
Let's see, well, think about this. So Rubidian wants to chime in on the shark issue. The thing about a shark is that their jaw strength is actually weaker than a human's. The reason why it's so deadly is because of the razor-sharp teeth they have.
I did not know that. I would have thought that a shark's jaw was pretty powerful, but that's interesting to know. So I wouldn't just, then it just would goad me on. I'd be like, what, shark? Widen up for you? And then I'd climb and I'd put my head inside just to like send a message that I'm like, what? You want some of this? Not gonna happen. Hey, TJ, you think you're gonna eat me? I don't think so. What? Then I'd punch it on its, I'd like hold its mouth open and I'd punch it on the inside so that its guts felt it, and then I'd slam its mouth back shut.
Clearly, he has no issue with violence towards aquatic animals. aquatic non-mammal.
Can somebody in the chat who has the ability please post a link to his YouTube channel so that people can enjoy the delightful Fight Like the Movies and other such series having to do with violence in a fun, fanciful way?
Oh man, Crag the Barbarian. If all of the different TJs, you guys may not know if you haven't seen Fight Like the Movies. In every episode, all of my stunt friends help me out in the final episodes, but I play a character in each one, and so like 25 episodes in, that's at least 25 different characters that I've played. And a buddy of mine who also is one of the EPs on the Warrior Showdown tournament, Corey Nicholas, made this fake Zimbo quiz picture where it's several different pictures of me as different characters saying, which TJ would you be? And so, Craig, it killed me when I saw it because it hadn't really registered to me just how many we had done. And so when I looked back and I saw, oh my gosh, we've done a lot of these. That was really cool. And Craig the Barbarian is asking which TJ would win. I would actually be curious to know what you guys think. Why don't you guys check out some of those episodes and let me know on the YouTube channel which one of me's you think are the toughest.
I love it. Oh, it looks like we've got a Moobot created. Thank you so much, whoever made that.
Thanks, Moobot.
That's awesome. So you guys can follow the Fight Like the Movies Facebook page, the YouTube channel for Warrior Showdown and Fight Like the Movies, the Twitter. It's all there, handy dandy. Now you have no excuse not to follow, like, and share.
Someone asked what my favorite Fight Like the Movies episode is. It's actually, my favorite episode is one of, I don't want to say my least favorite movie because I like all of the movies that we covered, obviously, or otherwise I wouldn't have covered them. But I wouldn't put this movie as one of my favorites in my top 10, but it's probably my favorite episode, and that's the Karate Kid episode.
Oh, nice.
Because the fight at the end, it just kept getting bigger and bigger as we were going. And I'm not kidding when I say we literally make these up on the spot. My fight partner in that was Adam Kahn, who has been in the lounge a couple times as a turtle and then as Mario.
Right.
And I would say, okay, go here, 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 and here. And like 10 seconds later, we're shooting it. And that's a really fast turnaround. And you can't do that with just anybody. He was such an awesome fight partner. And the fight really looks fantastic. It was also, it gave me an opportunity to bring two guests in from Ultimate Taekwondo, where I train martial arts. And if you guys have any inclination towards studying a martial art, I think Taekwondo is an awesome way to go because it gives you a really good sense of body awareness, and the kind of techniques that you learn are not just applicable to fighting, but being able to move your body more intelligently through space.
Nice.
And Ultimate Taekwondo in Burbank is awesome. I've been going there for 4 years now.
Oh, wow.
And two of the second-degree black belt siblings, I asked to be a part of this episode, and they came in, and they were so good and so funny that I think that episode probably is my favorite if I had to pick one off the top of my head.
That's awesome. Oh my god.
Oh, she's talking.
She's being adorable. She's being so adorable. I can't handle it. So cute. Oh.
Daddy? Well, I need.
Oh. Adorable.
Sweep the leg!
That's interesting that you said Taekwondo. That's fascinating to me. Because I've struggled with like deciding what martial art I would want to put time into, and it's never been Taekwondo because I had someone once tell me that practically speaking, it's not a great fighting style because of how much you project your movements, because of how big the movements are.
Yes, and that is all very true, and it's why Taekwondo is one of the most popular martial arts styles for film, because
yes.
it's extremely visual. And if you've watched, I love sword fighting, I love martial arts. I'm bored out of my mind watching fencing in the Olympics because it's too fast. I heard a statistic a few Olympics ago that the only apparatus in Olympic competition that's faster than the fencer's foil is the marksman's bullet. So the naked eye can't perceive this. You can only watch it if it's played in super slow motion. So the drama is not really that interesting. But Taekwondo is It's fast, it's furious, it's deadly, it's acrobatic, it has a lot of spins, it has a lot of kicks. It's very exciting to watch, and it's ferociously cardiovascular. So it's an incredible workout, and it tones every part of your body. You're throwing a lot of kicks, and there's a heavy emphasis on extension fighting. People will argue, I've heard argued a lot. I've studied lots of different martial arts, Shotokan, Kung Fu, sword disciplines like fencing, and my friends say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial art, and that's been proven by MMA. But then the first thing I think of is, yeah, if you get somebody in a submission hold, that is an awesome way to stop them, but what if there's two of them? Like, you can't put somebody, you can't put two people in a submission hold. Maybe you can if you're super awesome, but you can't put three people in a submission hold. But one of the regular practices of Taekwondo is handling many people at the same time. So,
really interesting.
Since it is extension fighting, the idea is defeating your opponent from a distance. And so you are attacking a wide array of opponents. And then as far as not being effective because you're telegraphing movements, that's also an advantage, because if people think they know where you're going, then you are messing with their mind. And Bruce Lee said in Tao of Jeet Kune Do, when you have two perfectly evenly matched martial artists in the way of skill, the person who wins is the master of the feint. So what he's saying basically is whoever wins the mind game is the person who wins the battle. If you can trick somebody into thinking that you're going to do something different than what you're actually going to do, they're playing right into your hands. Awesome. In fencing, we have this term called the kill zone. And the kill zone is when you're standing in a proximity where you're close enough to be able to stab the other guy. Nobody wants to maintain their body positioning in the kill zone because you could die in one move. Wow. So both fighters mutually agree they're going to exist one unit of movement outside of the kill zone. Because if you're too far away, you can't achieve your main goal, which is to stab the other guy. If you live within the range where you can stab them, you're also within the range where they can stab you, which is counter to your goal to survive. So the way that you win is by either stepping into this kill zone to kill the other guy, or the more subtle and devious way of winning, which is much more common on higher level competition, is you enter the kill zone to withdraw yourself from the kill zone to bait the other person in so that you can put them where you want them to be. It's like physical chess. Wow. You're playing all these mind games, and on the high level of Taekwondo, it's the same way. You got people who are just so unbelievably fast. That, and the people who I fight over there, I'm sure they're not watching the show, but the first time I got kicked by Master Hector, who is one of the instructors over there, he's an amazing martial artist. He's joking around. He's like playing and goofing on me. I'm trying my best. He's very, very good-natured, and I'm wearing a full...
5'2".
No, he's taller than that. He's got a... we both have full trunk protectors on. The same trunk protectors that you would use in Olympic competition, and he's liquefying my organs with like casual kicks. His technique is so good, and he's not a big guy. I'm bigger than him, but he's destroying me, playfully destroying me. If he was trying to hurt me, I knew in that moment I was against a superior predator, and if he wanted to, he could have hacksawed my body in two with a roundhouse kick. And then I'm fighting pretty frequently this child prodigy over there who is 16 years old.
Is he 16?
15 or 16.
15.
And he is genetically designed to be a Taekwondo killing machine. So inhumanly fast that you would, if you only saw him move, you would think that the Flash really existed. Wow. His feet are like a blur, and he can do all of these amazing acrobatic moves. He can actually pause in mid-air and have a brief conversation with you while performing acrobatic kicks. He's like explaining things to me while he's in mid-air and doing 3 kicks. I'm like, how are you pausing in the air? But he does this. A couple times, I fight him pretty hard because he's super good, and I want to like give him, I want to challenge myself, but I also want to make him feel like he has to work, even though he doesn't when he's fighting me. And so I'll try to fake him out and trick him into thinking, and maybe I'll get 1 point for every 10 points that he gets. But that usually backfires on me because his counter to the move that he thought I was gonna do trumps my trick. So he winds up still knocking me out upside down and backwards and feet overhead.
He does this amazing thing where, I mean, they're obviously face to face when they're sparring, and TJ's getting kicked, and then he comes home, and I look at him because I'm, you know, like rubbing his shoulders or something, and I lift up his shirt,
Aw.
and he's got bruises all along his back.
Oh,
He kicks me in the back from the front. Figure that out.
that's amazing.
He has kicks that can go around corners.
I love
He's an
that.
amazing fighter.
That's incredible.
Check these guys out. They're good.
Well, guys, can we get the MoveBot activated again? That would definitely help me out. I'm in a little bit of a disadvantage now because I believe our countdown system is, that's when I ran in there to look at it, is out. So I have no idea the show could end at any second. So I just want to make sure we're able to plug, yep, there it is. We're able to plug Warrior Showdown and Fight Like the Movies before the Batman, the second half of that Batman Fight Like the Movies kicks into the broadcast. You guys can check that out. So there you go. The YouTube channel always has tasty goodness, including tonight. They're premiering an episode of Fight Like the Movies that has Marvel characters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And no matter what hero is currently your favorite, after you see the second half of this Batman episode, Robin is your new favorite. I'm pretty confident in that. Awesome. Neostorm over here is nodding. He's like, yep, definitely.
Very
He's
cool.
like, yep, Robin is tops.
Now what is next after you wrap up the 30th episode of Fight Like the Movies?
Once we're done with the 30th episode of Fight Like the Movies, the next order of business is editing round 2 for Warrior Showdown, which we shot last November, and I've been sitting on for a long time, and it's not because some people think I'm a procrastinator or that I'm lazy, but the fact is I just cannot squeeze any more water out of this rock. I am like pushing myself to the absolute limits of human tolerance in terms of sleep deprivation go, and I need more time. And so once Warrior Showdown's done, then maybe
I'll get my husband back.
we can start thinking about, my nightmare is that I'm going to spend my life looking at the screen, and then I'm going to turn around and my daughter's going to be 16 years old. I want to spend a larger percentage of my life facing her direction. So certainly a significant change is going to be that I intend to sleep more. I intend to spend a little bit more time with my wife and daughter. I need to maintain some proper exercise regimen to keep these bad boys in check.
Gun show.
And then definitely got to handle Warrior Showdown. Then after that, we'll see what is in store for them. Maybe we'll do a new show called Fight the Shark or Fight the Polar Bear. We'll just see. We'll find random people on the street and be like, okay, we've got a shark in the tank, polar bear, and a gorilla. Which one do you want to fight? You know, the reason I would never actually do that show is I have no problems with adult men beating the crap out of each other, but for some reason I have like zero tolerance for even the slightest bit of abuse towards an animal.
You're right.
Even if an animal was attacking me and trying to eat me, I would still think it was my fault for being in that animal's terrain.
Yeah.
I've been attacked by dogs before, and I'm like, in those high pressure situations where these dogs are trying to rip my arms off, I'm trying to contain the situation without hitting or hurting the dog. I probably could have handled it a lot easier, but instead I'm like trying to like shuck their heads away and trying to push them, which is of course in no way a deterrent. It's just like a game
Trying to give
them.
it a tantric massage.
I'm trying. Tantric doesn't work on dogs. Well, it does work on my dog. You get him, he's like starts going like this for a little bit.
Adorable.
But now you don't want to attempt that technique on a strange dog.
Amazing.
That wouldn't be my recommendation. But if a human attacked me, oh my gosh, I would be like full steam trying to take him apart. Who would I rather fight, Sonny the bird or Marbles the cat? All right, I'm going to put my reputation on the line here and say I don't know who either of those are. Is that bad? You don't know either? Okay, good. All right. If Neostorm doesn't know, then I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, what is that? I I don't know what that is.
That's my dad asking me. Oh, Sonny the Bird or Marbles the Cat. Those were my old pets.
Oh no!
I'm thinking of like pop culture characters.
Oh.
I would definitely rather fight Marbles the Cat because this cat was a tiny little kitten, like a fluff puff, like this, in my dad's van. And I'm like 10 or 11 years old at this time, and I hear this coming out of my dad's vehicle, and my dad's needing to leave for work. And I'm like, Dad, don't go. The cat's in the hood. You're going to burn it up. It's going to get hurt. My dad's like, okay, like 10 more minutes. 1 more minute on the show?
Oh, yeah.
So I get this cat out of there after like an hour of mewing at it, and it just scratches me up. So, not a cat lover. Although I still don't condone the injuring or hurting of them. I just don't like it.
Well, TJ Cencula, Natalie Cencula, the little one, future superstar. Thank you so much for joining us here on the last episode of The Lounge before The Lounge goes on hiatus. Stay tuned for Elite League Live. Thank you so much. Check out the Twitter, the Facebook, the YouTube channel of Warrior Showdown. And you're guaranteed some fun times and epic violence.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. We will definitely have TJ and the Cencula clan back as soon as we can. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. And
thanks so much for inviting us. Glad to be here. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Love you, Craig.
Stay tuned, guys.
Leave the bat to me. Yeah.